Simple games are the best games to play in your online classroom to engage your students and to help you stand out as an online teacher. So today I'm going to show you how to play the unfair game and how to edit the slides and how to play it with your students and how you can get your own copy. Let's dive in. Our game is the unfair game, and despite its name, it is super fun. A great game for third graders and up, and a game you can really play with any subject, and I'll show you why. So let's dive into this game. The unfair game, we have this right here is all of our questions. So you can see this unfair game has 20 questions that you can put in here, and these questions you have, mine's multiplication. This game is in my TPT shop. You can find this exact game with multiplication facts to gamify your math class. You can also find an editable template, so this slide is blank and you can add in your own question, so it works great with any subject. So with this question slide, you can type in your question with whatever you're teaching, whatever you're going to review. Math facts, it could be reading comprehension questions. You could have a sentence here and students could, try to correct the sentence, find the right grammar. So that's up to you on how you want to make this work for your class. So we have our question slide and a question slide that is going to get us to our questions, and we have our answer slide. That is it. That is all you need in order to play this game. So the unfair game, how do we play this game? So you just need to click that slideshow button, make it full screen, share your entire screen, and that's it. Or you're just clicking through the buttons. So how I would explain it to my students, we are playing the unfair game, and underneath all of these numbers, they're linked to questions, and we're going to answer that question either together as a class. We're going to answer that question, and then I'll reveal the answer, see if we got it right. Here's the unfair part, because that sounds easy. Oh, I got that, Miss Natalie, I got that. Here's the unfair part. There are points tagged along with each of these questions. Before you see the points, you have to decide whether or not you want to keep them for yourself, or you can give them to the other team. And if you have a big enough class, you can split it into 2 teams, 3 on 3. Or most of my students want to play all of the students against the teacher, see if they can beat me. And so teacher versus student. You can also play it in tutoring classes, where again it could be teacher versus student. So I will have each of my students pick a number just one by one. So I'll just go with who I see first on my Zoom screen, their video. So student number 1, you get to pick the first number. Go in any order. These numbers don't have to go in order. So say student 1 is going to pick number 9. I'm going to, down here, move me, and there's a turn on the pen button. That way it allows me to cross off number 9, so I know we've picked it, and then I'm going to click number 9. Okay, here's our first question, 3 times 9. And when you're gamifying your lesson content, again, this whole slide, be creative with it. Some of my students, maybe they're going to know this fact super fast, and this will take us, 10 seconds to answer. Or it could be on the other side. Okay, our first problem is 3 times 7. Now we're working together as a class to draw out our equal groups, make an array to solve it with a fast trick I'm teaching. So there's more of me teaching at this point. We're gamifying teaching. So if you have any questions on what kind of content you can put in this game, be sure to leave a comment down below. Just say, hey, I'm teaching this. How can I put it into a game? And I'll help you out. Okay, so 3 times 9. And then my students answer. We reveal the answer and we celebrate. Yes, we got it right. Now here are the points. Do you want to keep the points for your team, or you can give them to me? Or they see them. Let's say they're going to keep them for themselves. So, students, these are your points. You guys get, no way, plus 10 points. That's awesome. Students are so excited. They just got positive 10 points. Now, I do keep track of points. I like to just keep track on a whiteboard and marker, bringing out the old-fashioned whiteboard. So I have a teacher on one side, students on the other side, and then they got plus 10 points. And we'll add them up at the very end. Okay, nice job. And all we gotta do is click back to the game board, and we're ready to answer this next question. So that second student I see on my screen, they are going to pick a number. Say they pick 16. I'm gonna cross that off. Okay, here's our next question. 6 times 3. We solve it, teach it, click to the answer. We celebrate. Nice job, guys. You did it. Okay, do you want to keep your points for yourself or give them to me? Maybe my students were feeling jealous, or not jealous, feeling generous, and they want to give these points to me. And then bring your energy to the game, because students feed off of your energy. So I'm like, oh, I'm nervous. These points are mine. I really hope they're good. So I'll click to the points. Whew, I'm celebrating. I got plus 8. And then the students, all of my students just gave me 8 points. So now they're like, oh, you have a ton of points. And then that's when we just say it. It's unfair. This is so unfair. I have 8 points now. You didn't get any. So unfair. And they're like, what? It's so fun. Okay, and then on my whiteboard, I marked down there are 8 points. Now, we haven't found any points yet that are negative. There are negative points in here. So, I don't know where they are. Let's just pick slide 10. Answer. Oh, there we go. So, I didn't ask. Maybe those students kept those points for themselves. They just gave away 8 points. They're feeling really lucky. Maybe this next one's a good points too, and they kept these points. They just got negative 4 points. That's unfair too. So keep track on my whiteboard. I just do a separate column for negative points. There we go. And then at the end, we add them all up. Okay, and based on points, there are 2 versions you can play. One where the team with the most points wins. So you play this class either for the whole 30-minute class, or we're just reviewing what we taught. So 10 minutes at the end of class, whatever questions we answer is whatever questions we answer. Add our points up at the end. Whoever got the most points wins. So I would add my points up. They would add their points up. Right now I have 8 points. Students have 6 points. So teacher wins. Double unfair, because students never want the teacher to win. A second way you can play, and this works really well with older students with those points, like junior high and older, is team closest to 0 wins. And that way, by mixing it up, those negative points actually become a good thing, because they're going to bring you back down to 0. And that one works really well with older students. The unfair game is super fun. Again, you can find this in my TPT store, this exact multiplication one, gamify that math class, or a template that's editable, add in your own questions. If you're ever looking for more games and support implementing these games, my Game Changer Club might be the club for you. So my teachers inside the club, they get 3 game templates a month. So 1 game in 3 different themes, and they are ready to edit, just like this game. Gotta add in your questions, add in some answers, and you're ready to play. Super simple, saves them hours upon time, and they're able to gamify their classroom. They're able to stand out as a teacher, make their lessons unique, so students want to come back and they're so engaged the whole lesson. So 1 live coaching call a month. There we go over the game, we play the game together, answer 80 questions, so my teachers are 100% confident in how to play and edit and implement the game into their own class. And then the private community, ask me any questions you want about games, the game template, how to use this in your class, anything. and I'm there inside that group answering your questions. My teachers also gets to have a say in the theme of the game, so they're really customized towards what their students like. I've had a teacher, students were really into dragons, so I created a game where the theme and images were all about dragons. Her student loved it. And then other teachers are able to use that game and introduce a fun theme for their learners as well. So super fun. Go ahead, links are all in the description box, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.